Alright, so I'm going to you with the Book of Esoteric Revelations World
If you
Quest.
press a leaf between
And
dry
it
sheets
says
of paper,
something
you can make an
about
attractive and handy bookmark.
page somewhere around here. There we go.
Oh, it's all coming out now.
I'm gonna fight this thing.
I hear everything!
Shine down! Torn to oblivion!
Let me weave you a verse. Rain outlines.
Confess! Bring it on!
There we go. Okay. So the next one's over there, and then there's one over here. That one's close to a waypoint, so I'll go to the one that's harder to get to. Ooh. Let's switch to Claymore user.
Let's go.
Who
Okay. Must be an underground thing or something along here.
Yeah.
Maybe by where that bridge is at? Or right here? Uh-oh, Rift Towns.
Keep up. Let's nip that in the bud.
Now you shall perish!
Discovered an ancient ruin that remains unmarked on any map. The entrance has completely collapsed. If I manage to find a way in, I might discover some rare treasure. Convincing everyone that whatever in there is going to be worth our while was tough going. The next part's going to be a walk in the park, by contrast. There's no need to keep a low profile here. Didn't find aught else but this arcane formation and the peculiar barriers around it. And after all that effort, too. There seems to be someone trapped inside the barriers. Can't tell if they are alive or not. Well, I'm not going back empty-handed. Not after what I've gone, well, how far I've gone. That's just not my style. The rain pages are filled with black stains, making the text unreadable. Was that blood?
I'm liking the look of this.
Can't see? I hear everything.
No, my sword! Witness the power!
Fracture! And shroud! I'll uproot you!
Illusion shattered! Inazuma shines eternal!
Well, that finished up.
Rain outlines your face.
Beastly Rift. This appears to be some kind of fantastical arcane formation left by someone. It will summon monsters from another world that will try to break the catalyst, restraining the formation. During the challenge, you must defeat all attacking monsters while ensuring the crystals stay intact. Okay, so it had something to do with one of those formations at least.
Time to act. No, my sword!
Trying to find out, what are those little things flying around? These do look like the missing pages from the book. Let's try putting one back in, shall we? Insert page. And then we just need to concentrate and meditate on the book like before. There's just a page, Gully Blur. Oh, that's, yeah. Read countless volumes here. It appears that these were left behind by an ancient order. Kingdoms rise and fall, and when a civilization is annihilated, a new one will be born from the ashes, which these books refer to as Fortuna. It's somewhat rudimentary, but theoretically, at least, maybe it's hmm, maybe it's a play on Fontaine. Huh. It bears striking resemblance to the computulation scheme I have formulated and termed world formula. All the records are blurred with age, but were I able to quantify them to some extent, they could be of some use to my world formula calculations. No matter how many times I derive it, the result remains the same, though this result is not expected. Unlike the world depicted in these ancient texts, there will be no more new civilizations born, unless we consider introducing variables from outside the system. If it was that sort of power, there might be a chance. Here I found the magical techniques left behind by the Golden Troop. They seem to be referred to by various names. I'll go with this one for now. Based on my interpretation, it appears to be known as the Seal of Symmetrical Marriage and consists of two parts. However, it has been weathered too much to decipher any more information. Interestingly, I have encountered similar symbols in documents from the Narcissa Christ Institution archives. They look complicated, yet the underlying principles are quite clear. If the records prove accurate, there are some key locations within the realm remaining. Related records may be found elsewhere as well. I should record my findings here for now, as they may prove useful in the future. Wow, this time even Paimon could start to understand. Seems like the confusion was all due to the pages that were missing before, huh? Awesome, let's put another page in, shall we? Insert page. As you start meditating again, you once more attempt to understand the page's content. The edges of the page blur, and the incomprehensible shapes that line it leap forth as if mounted on a pop-up book. Yet, before you can make sense of what is happening, there is a rush of noise all around you, and you return to the world as it was. The pollution of the land and water wrought by the giant beast, LNS, seems to have been mostly purified and diluted. However, when it comes to LNS itself, even the adults seem to be at a total loss. They simply cordoned off the surrounding area. Nonetheless, it was quite easy to sneak in. It felt rather strange slipping into the creature's mouth, and it reminded me of some events from some of the stories I once read. Though I have no substantive evidence, I still sense some sort of will from it. Jacob did too. There were no signs of decay in the flesh. Instead, its body was hardened as if forming a protective membrane. Given its current immobilized state, it looked like a self-defense mechanism to safeguard its internal organs, but it does make sense. With such a wellspring of vitality, if my deduction is correct, it may also be used to enhance Jacob's strength by following the same principle. However, at this stage, there's no need to subject Jacob to such risks. I should get safe experimental data first through the Institute of Natural Philosophy and then set specific research objectives. Although, as Jacob mentioned, this may waste a lot of precious time. After all, the flesh of LNS remains toxic, and the risk if Jacob has returned. He's quite brave, but also an idiot. He didn't give any thought to the possible consequences. We have no one else to rely on now if he... The data we've collected is still incomplete. Jacob had minor adverse reactions, primarily vomiting, but he recovered quickly and hasn't shown other symptoms in the short term. His mental status and physical status remain stable. It's only possible because Jacob completely trusts me. Our lives are limited. Still, even if it's just for the future, we must find a way to get allies, get stronger, and prevent disaster. Elaine has enrolled in the Institute of Natural Philosophy. He should fit right in with his sharp mind. I brought the pocket watch he gave us, and we compared the time only to find there was already a significant discrepancy. We agreed to meet at the Institute. The brightest minds of Fontaine are gathered there, and we can expect to make huge progress and get much needed help. As for Mary Ann, just the sight of her fills me with joy. We had a long discussion about the Narcissa Curse Institute, but Jacob was crying through most of it. I didn't tell them about Jacob. It's because Uncle Golanton, who was with them, is part of the Mason Gardenage. Although he seems to be treating Elaine and Marianne very well, he still can't be trusted. After all, father and mother, it was all the doing of their lackeys and goons. Well, Paimon can read the words now, but the author's intended meaning is still a total mystery. We'll just have to put this last page in and see what we get. Maybe the contents will link up or something. The test on Jacob's strength continues. As before, the flesh and blood of the greatest beast... Oh, wait. Okay, so this is new. Greatest beast Elenus is being used as nutrition. Jacob seems to have gotten used to it, so there's nothing to worry about anymore. Thus, the adverse reactions observed before may have just been caused by Jacob's feeling of disgust. It's a relief to know that his physical condition hasn't been harmed. Jacob still eats, but only out of habit and no longer as a necessity for survival. But I suppose it's a good thing, because eating together is nice. It suddenly occurred to me that jam was somewhat similar to the flesh and blood of Elenus, so I made a joke about it. Jacob seemed quite uncomfortable. The results have improved significantly in comparison to previous tests. Perhaps more can be done. Then the next step would be to attempt the opening of a passage. The passage was opened successfully, though it only lasted a short while. During this time, many black monsters that were shaped like dogs emerged. They were very aggressive and terrifying, but thank goodness Jacob was here. Though he was so scared he was crying, he still managed to wipe them out while bawling. These monsters are identical to those we discovered during our desert expedition. However, those were salt gray, stiff, and immobile at the time, so it was relatively safe. So this occurred after the the war that happened 500 years ago. This because that was when they had that stuff in the desert, was the things that were turned to stone, or the rift hounds and stuff. I'm certain their properties are nearly identical to those of Elenus. The Conrian records mentioned passages appearing in large numbers and numerous dangerous monsters that looked like dogs emerging from them. It's very likely that they are the same type. It can be safely postulated that the location these passages link to is full of these monsters. I shall tentatively call them beastly rifts. Thus, these hounds may be called rift hounds. So that's how they got their name. As you read faster and faster, you fall into a trance and arrive again in that mysterious space. The same voice from before rings out. No matter how many times I run the calculations, the results are the same. After a few hundred years, all the birthing waters of the world will dry up, and a few hundred years after that, the world will become as it appears now before us. This is quite the predicament. Hey, come on now, don't cry. There's nothing to be afraid of. I'm here, aren't I? Don't you trust me? Also, Alan and the others will definitely help. Also, I bet you'll definitely be able to survive in this world. You're special. I know. You're worried that constitution of others is different from yours. That's reasonable. Well, that's why we need to continue researching the things left behind by the Golden Troop. Perhaps we'll discover some new possibilities. We'll go back to the Narzensenkrutz Institution together and take a look, okay? The voice drifts away again. After it feels like a long time, though, in this world, time seems to no longer measure changes in matter. You hear the voice once more. It looks like he won't help us anymore. You're the only one I can rely on now. Hey, come on, don't be like that. I'm sad too, but I won't cry until after the fat lady sings. Moreover, we still have to find a way to cure him. Don't be scared. It'll all go smoothly. There are already lots of people willing to listen to us, if we want to persuade them further. Besides belief, we'll also need ceremony. As for the name, we'll call it the Book of Revealing, and put it in the form of a book. We'll use our secret cipher to write it. Everyone only sees the world that their cognitive framework allows them to see, but using this method, we can share the visions we have foreseen with ours. Just as you begin to listen closely to what the voice is saying, it begins to gradually fade away. At the same time, you feel the world around you suddenly begin to collapse, and with a roaring sound resounding, you awake again. Are you okay, traveler? Was that an earthquake just now? Earthquake? What earthquake? Nothing happened here. Paimon did get a little dizzy, but you looked like you'd fainted. You didn't wind up in some mysterious space again, did you? Just what's going on with that weird space, anyhow? And if you think about it, it's pretty dangerous, too. What if you go in and can't go back out? Or get back out? So just what did you encounter inside? I seem to have witnessed a premonition that someone had. I seem to have heard a prophecy that someone made. Huh? Did someone say anything in there? And it was kind of, and what's, yeah, and it was some kind of prophecy? That's real creepy. If what you're saying is true, then this was actually a book of prophecies, wasn't it? But why make the format so complicated? If the author didn't want people to understand it, wouldn't it have been better to not write it at all? Actually, I also heard all kinds of sounds while I was meditating, but they were just the songs of birds and flowers. I don't know anything about the prophecy you spoke of. It seems we must enter that space again to understand what is going on. If we meditate together this time, we should be able to enter it. Paimon's still worried. Wait, Paimon wants to come too. No way is she going to stay here alone. Once again, you focus upon meditating, and the furor surrounding you fades. The world grows silent. Then you hear the tiniest of sounds, and a feeling that is wrath, or perhaps grief, wells up within your heart. Your very soul feels drawn to this mysterious sound. And as you follow that sound, a whole world, utterly alien, supremely familiar, races to meet you. Oh, what? Where the heck did we end up? It looks kind of like Enkanomiya. This is some kind of dreamscape. This must be the strange place you were talking about before. It's much more vivid than before. Did the author of the book really create this place? And they hid such a big space inside it too. Huh. Well, Paimon doesn't know how they did it, but this place looks like a ruin. Also, we meditated with Konotilla to get here, but we're the only two around right now. She didn't fall somewhere, did she? Oh no, things get bad if she winds up in danger. Let's go find her. Hurry! Wow, the timer the whole time for my skill did not finish cooling off.
Rain outlines your fate.
Will I be able to enter back into here? I don't know for sure, so I'm gonna go over here. Oh, I don't think I'm gonna make that, am I? Oh, I might. I might. I might. Nope, I did not. Oh god.
Yeah.
I guess I have to go this way then. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna cheat.
Squall Fury.
You even want this?
Fury.
Ha. This is a very interesting space.
Too slow.
Let me switch back to Tainari.
Who? I think we can forego the lost and found report.
Oh, this is taking me really far away. Am I missing anything from over there? There's something down below. This looks a lot like Inconomia.
Keep up.
Okay, so we need to go back there. But first,
Can't see?
Shine down!
Keep moving! Yeah. Yeah. Bring it on! One with the force. Yeah. Yeah. Let's nip that in the bud.
See, just follow my intuition.
Rain outlines your fate.
And shroud.
There is no escape!
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
actually, I want to check something out real quick.
Rain outlines your fate.
Keep up. Keep up. Why is there a chest here?
Oh, I guess it was a good thing I was doing all those then.
Keep up.
Wait a minute. This looks very familiar. Okay.
The threads of your fate lie in my...
Let's go gather. I think we can forego the lost and found report. Keep up.
Huh? Where's Conotilla? Or where'd Conotilla go? She was just here a moment ago. Wait, there's something on the ground. Pick it up and take a look. Pick up a page from a book. See that? That's the conclusion the world formula arrived at after countless calculations. The scene we foresaw, the destruction after the cataclysm, in this world where not even a sweet flower or a mint can grow. That is the end of all things. Do you believe it at last? Whether you have arrived at this place by the book of revealing or the looking glass, lend me your strength, that we may avoid this future. Just as I said, the only way is... Is this page the same as the ones we found before? How did it end up here? Let Paimon see. It's easily readable. Is it because we're in this strange space? Cataclysm, destruction, some kind of apocalypse? What, even if Paimon can read the words, it still doesn't make any sense. If we put it together with the other pages, this appears to be a prophecy. Huh, so it was as we guessed previously. So does this mean that this is the future the author wants us to see? A world where even sweet flowers and mints won't grow? Ugh, that's a terrible place, no matter how you slice it. But if that really is the future, shouldn't the author tell everyone about it and find a solution? Why make a place like this? Maybe this is the only way everyone will believe it, or maybe he had his own considerations. It also mentions some kind of looking glass. Seems like there are other ways to get in here. Still, Paimon doesn't think any of this will be much help in answering Tilla's answer or questions. Forget it. Who cares about some dumb prophecy anyway? The important thing right now is to find Tilla. Let's keep looking.
I think we can forego the lost and found report. Keep up. Keep up.
I could have gone that way. Oh well. Let's take this thing. Where? Oh, went up real high. Oh shit. There's a doggy? Oh no, there's a Rifthound.
I hear everything.
Now you shall perish!
No sign of Conatilla or where she's gone. There's only this fella here. That said, it doesn't seem to want to attack us anymore. That's a first for a Rifthound, huh? It looks like it wants to say something to us? Not that we can understand it anyway. We shouldn't get too close, just in case. Wait, is Paimon seeing things? What's an ordinary little doggy doing here? Where'd that Rifthound go? Traveler, take a look. Is there something wrong with Paimon's eyes? It might be the Rifthound. Anything can happen in a dream. Is it trying to tell us to go through that passage over there? Judging from its reaction, Paimon guessed right. Who knows where that's going to lead, but we weren't able to find Kanotilla anywhere. So maybe she did leave by that way? And it looks like there's no other route we can take. So let's just try it and see what happens. And going towards the break in the reality? Huh? We came back. Or we came right back. Or maybe we never even left? Oh, you had the same reaction as I did, Paimon. Kanotilla. We were looking all over for you. Paimon kept calling out for you, but you never responded. That place was so dangerous, but you just ran around all over the place. Dangerous? The place we entered was so serene and peaceful, like a beautiful garden. Huh? But all we saw was rubble. That's odd. I kept looking for you two back in that previous base, but there were big trees and flowers everywhere, so I got lost. Fortunately, I followed the sound of a bird, then found a golden butterfly, which brought me up on top of the garden. What about the Rifthound? We saw you in a Rifthound. Oh, right. That Rifthound even turned into a dog. Now it feels like Paimon is just talking nonsense. I saw a little dog, too. On top of the garden, there was a cute little dog that nodded at me and helped open the way out for me. I thought you both had gone somewhere else to play, and that I didn't need to worry, so I just came back here. And you? What did you discover? We found another page. Right, we found this inside, though we don't know if it'll be useful. It also looks like a page from this book. You open the page you found and show it to Konotilla. The butterfly. it's a golden butterfly. Huh? What are you talking about? I can see golden butterflies flying out from the page, just like the one I saw in the space before. Huh, never mind solving anything. We've got even more problems on our hands now. Seems like you really did see something completely different in that space. If that space is the future predicted by the author, then why did you see a garden? Just thinking about that makes Paimon's head hurt. But I was very happy inside. I didn't even think about those questions. Maybe that's what the book was trying to tell me all along. Even if we perceive differently, we can communicate our feelings to one another. Maybe the essence of things doesn't matter all that much after all. Paimon wouldn't say that we had a great time in there, but if you figured things out for yourself, good on you. Still, that place is pretty sketchy, and we don't yet have any clue as to what's up with that prophecy either. Speaking of the prophecy, this book makes it sound really scary, sure, but if things I saw were the real future? After all, such things aren't set in stone, are they? And since the book mentions other ways to enter that space, we may be able to figure this book and its prophecy out if we find them. And then maybe we can meet there again in that space. It might be better if we just met in reality. Also, Konotilla, don't go running around in that space anymore. Alright, so that one's completed now. Yeah, not gonna go in there. What I will do, though, is... Oh, I didn't get anything for that? Oh, that makes me sad. I will collect these, though, since I got several achievements. And this. Alright, so that's going to be the end of the Esoteric Book of Relations, or whatever it was called. And that's going to be it for now, so see you guys later!